welcome back from your Thanksgiving break if you took one. And for me, it is, I already said it, officially sweater weather, but it is now officially Christmas sweater weather. And for me, I have I would say, fairly large collection of Christmas sweaters. I happen to love Christmas time, and so this is when I get to bust out all of the funky Christmas sweaters and wear them. And I try not to repeat them, but I have my favorites, and I have some that are maybe a little more uncomfortable. So I tend to wear those less, but I still love them all the same. And so if you are a client or you are a colleague and you see me out and about this month, you will probably get to see one of my many Christmas sweaters, and feel free to wear one of yours and enjoy the season if this is something that you also enjoy. I literally have to stop myself from purchasing all the sweaters that I see because I don't need them, but I want them. I recently saw a Beatles one, the Beatles walking across the street as on Abbey Road with like little elf hats, and a Bob Ross one. And I really wanted those, but I have not yet tried to purchase them. So I don't know. Maybe you'll see me wearing one of those sometime in the future. Maybe you won't. But that's just a little fun thing that I like to bring to this season, as well as some of the other things that come along with this time of year. And I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I did not have a podcast last week because just trying to focus on family and downtime and being able to relax a little bit. But today's episode, I just want to talk a little bit about your health journey, making changes and getting to kind of the understanding of what's going on with you. And there's lots of routes you can take with that. And for me, I have put off doing some of that myself. I've kind of gone in waves, and there's lots of reasons for that. Sometimes it's time, sometimes it's a willingness, sometimes it's financials, or any combination of thereof, or other reasons. And that may be where you're at as well. I have clients where we talk about the options, what is available to them, what they can do versus what they are doing, versus what they're capable of doing. And, I fit in that same boat. And so I'm talking a little bit about my journey and a little bit about what I'm about to embark on. And maybe we'll see as we go. I'll share some of those results with you, since sharing client results isn't something that I can do. One of the things when it comes to testing, now my personal belief is that, I would prefer testing over guessing. And so I have a hard time, whether it's with clients, but specifically friends, or even just people on the internet, when people make posts on Facebook pages and things like that, where they're wanting advice, I'm giving some unsolicited or maybe solicited advice on things they could potentially look into. And I tend to do that with my friends. And so I hope I don't, turn them off when it comes to that. I just feel very passionately about that. I hate to see my friends and my family kind of suffering and struggling with like health issues if they can avoid it, and myself included, but I understand that in that, taking a different path can be a burden financially, emotionally, mentally, physically, depending on what those changes need to be. And I am about to do some testing myself. It's been a little bit since I've had testing. I've known about some issues. I'm feeling some of those changes in myself and wanting to kind of get to the bottom of what some of those things are. And I've had many options, and I've met many people. And so people that I would refer to, and trying to pick the best one was a struggle for me, because you're weighing all the options. You're weighing the price, you're weighing the expertise, you're weighing the my needs versus the ability of the practitioner you're reaching out to, and timing and all kinds of things. And so there's not always one right person or one right group or one right way of doing it. There are sometimes many right ways or good ways of accomplishing the same tasks. And so when it came to me, jumping on and picking a program or a person, I wanted to, I struggled between a couple of different people to go with, and ultimately chose one that we're going to do some testing, and we're going to find out like where some of my numbers are, and then work on some of those changes. And then at the end of that, period, whatever that is, depending on what the results are and what is found, then I may or may not continue with that person, or, choose to take another route. We'll just see. So that's kind of where I'm at with my journey. And so what I will likely be doing here in the next couple weeks is I'm looking to get a like hair mineral analysis to find out what my nutrients and minerals are that are lacking, so that I can improve those things, and a overall like blood, like I think it's called your CBC, just getting the overall numbers to find out where they are. And that will provide some information. And then also, I believe we're going to do a stool test. So that's just to find out what your gut bacteria is doing, if there's any like parasites, if there's any overgrowth or undergrowth, if there's any infection, what you're maybe absorbing or not absorbing. So if like there's too much protein or too much of something else in your stool, that will indicate that you're not digesting your food at a certain level that it should be, right? So that's kind of where I'm going to start. What I often talk to my clients about is those types of tests. When we're talking about symptoms and we're not finding answers, my recommendation is let's find a provider, let's find someone that you're willing to work with that can look a little deeper than maybe what your traditional provider is willing or has done. So I often get a response of like, well, I've already done hormone testing. Well, I've already had the food allergy testing, or I've already, they've already done some of that. My follow-up to that is, well, what were the results, or how exactly were those hormones tested? So for example, a common one, like if your hormones are tested on a single day at a single time, that's not giving you an overall picture of what your hormones are doing over the month. So if you're a female, we want to know what your hormones are doing in your entire cycle. Are the hormones fluctuating the way they are supposed to be fluctuating, or are they off in some way? Because if, you test your cortisol at noon on a Monday, on the 5th day of your cycle, that is going to look different than your cortisol on, the 5th day of your cycle at 9 o'clock at night, or, 8 in the morning. And those are important numbers to find out what's going on with you, because it's going to give a good indication as to, what your stress level is, and, how to maybe change that cortisol, and what else is going on in your system. It's going to say, well, your estrogen's too high during the wrong time in your cycle, and it needs to be lower and higher during other parts of your cycle. So that's what I tend to find, is that the hormone testing, as an example, isn't as thorough as the testing that I'm aware of that is out there that you are able to get, and you're able to get answers to. Food allergy testing is another one. Oftentimes people will get food allergy testing, and it's the kind that's like they've done on your arm or your back, and it raises little bumps. And I'm sure that that is a good type of test and can provide some feedback. It is my understanding, and I am, okay to be wrong, but through my training, the best type of test would be like the blood test. Now, a lot of them are like a finger prick. You can like squeeze them and dot it on a little card, or they can take a little vial of your blood. And what that's testing is your IgG, IgE allergies, to see what is happening in your system, and if your blood, your blood is reacting to certain foods that they are testing. And in my training, in my experience, whatever shows up on that test, I've seen different versions of it. The one that I was trained on kind of showed if anything shows up, and it'll have little numbers next to it, like +1, 2, 3, or 4. If anything shows up, you have to eliminate those. I've seen another one where they show like green, yellow, and red foods. And to my understanding, in those, you'd be wanting to eliminate anything that shows up under like yellow and red, because green would indicate that those are okay. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've seen a visual of that specific test result, but that was what was told to me when I saw that one. And so, what are you being told after you've been told like to do this allergy test? So sometimes people aren't given like the right instructions. For example, I've had clients that were told that they were dehydrated, they should drink more water, but that was it. That was it. No other discussion as to how much more water, or if they should do anything to their water, or like how frequently they should be drinking water throughout the day. There's no indication other than just increase your water consumption. Well, if they're drinking 1 solid cup of water a day and they go to 2, is that enough? 16 ounces from 8 ounces. And so it involved a discussion of, well, just drinking a lot of water. If I go from drinking, one of my water bottles, which is like a 32-ounce water bottle, to drinking 3 of them, is that enough? Well, I'm going to be peeing a lot more. And what's really happening there? There's a discussion on, well, when you're drinking, all of that water and you're urinating frequently, it's not really getting into your cells. It's kind of like going in and out of your body and maybe flushing a little bit. But we want water to get into our cells. And so that may require some electrolytes or changes in your diet, or things that you add to the water, or different types of water that's going to really help that water to be really fully absorbed, and get, have more usage within your system. So when people are getting testing, are they being told anything or to do anything with the information that they've been given? So that's what I'm hoping to accomplish. I don't know everything. There are smarter people out there than me. I know enough to refer you to somebody who knows more than me. And I'm still learning. I want to be able to do that myself, but I am not there personally to be able to run those tests. But I know enough to be able to kind of talk you through it, to know maybe what to recommend, to know like the people you can go to do those things. And so that's why I'm doing those things. I'm hoping to get those answers, to find out for me what I can do to change. I know I need to make some changes. And so I'm at a point where, yes, it's going to be hard. Sugar is a hard one for me, but over, I would say over the last several years and over the last year, I've definitely improved in decreasing the amount of sugar that I consume. But I still do. So we're heading into the holiday season where, where sugar is abundant, and it is hard to not eat sugar, but it's something that, I'm going to try really hard to not do, as well as increasing my water consumption, because I know that I can go in phases and I can get really busy and not drink anything, and realize, at the end of the day, I haven't actually completed or finished a 32-ounce bottle of water, right? That's not good. And I know this is a fault that I have and something that I need to work on. And sharing it is almost like as a way of accountability and doing better. I go in phases of like working out and working hard. And I know when I work out and when I exercise, I feel better. So I know I need to do that. I also need to work on my motivation and my ability to actually make it happen, right? So when I recommend things to you, and when I say things to my clients in session, like, hey, I understand. I don't know exactly what you're going through and why it's hard for you, but I do understand that it's hard. I do understand that making those changes is not easy. Because why? Because I've been there. I'm there. I do it. I don't do it. I am not perfect. So I'm right there with you when it comes to making changes. They're not easy things to do. And, we can kind of be on this journey together. And if that is something you are considering, you can check out my blog posts. You can, if you're interested in being a client, I'd love to work with you. We work on the mental health side of things, and we incorporate those physical health types of questions and concerns and recommendations. And, when you're working on yourself outside of counseling, you're also going to improve your mental health through the other changes that you're making. So we can do those things together. And I want to be here to help support you through that journey. If you're a friend or a colleague, and you want to talk about some of those things, I'm happy to do that with you as well. And, I'm really looking forward to finding out and learning for me what things I can do to better improve myself, hopefully to improve my mood and my energy and all of the things that, go on with me. And I can share those things with you and maybe encourage you to get some of that treatment as well. So it is the holiday season. We tend to kind of back off and take less care of ourselves. I know that in therapy world, that tends to happen. We tend to see clients kind of slow down with their sessions, not scheduling sessions, and we wait till that New Year resolutions. And that's great. I'd love to see you if you're waiting till then, but also you don't have to wait until then. You can get in today. You can see me today, really soon. And I'd be happy to work with you. I have openings. I am taking new clients. I love working with clients who are, whether on a natural health journey and live a holistic life, or ones who are maybe considering it, or, that's not really even on your radar, but you want to work on your trauma and grief, and maybe that idea of incorporating some of that root cause and that functional framework is interesting to you. Well, I hope that you consider working with me, because that is what I do, and I would love to help you. I love working with clients who are really wanting that and interested in that, and I think it can be very helpful. So come with me on this journey. I am making changes. I am doing things. You can too. Don't let the holidays sway you or push it away. I know they can be busy, but you are important too. Your health and your wellness are important. And if you can't take care of you, it's hard for you to take care of everybody else in your life or all the things that you need to accomplish. So 1 hour once a week, maybe you consider that to be worth it, to help you make the improvements you'd like to see in 2026. So I appreciate you joining me today. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you next week for the Cultivating Calmness podcast.